Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is I Love You, Say It Back. It's a podcast. I'm your host, Vic D. No more reading. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is I Love You, Say It Back. It's a podcast. I'm your host, Vic D. So glad you are with me on this Thursday, first show of March. Thursday, March 5th, 2026. I remember the beginning of the year. I was like, it's going to take a little bit to get used to that. But I think we're checking along just fine. How are you doing? If you are, we were talking about no more reading. Actually, I lied because going to be going out to 2 more schools tomorrow, but I've been doing Read Across America all week, and it's probably one of my most fun things that I do all year, because I got to be honest with you. There's a couple things that I know I'm good at. I'm good at creating content and like doing podcasts, doing topics, looking at the world different. I'm good at that. And talking to kids. Like talking to kids, reading to kids, engaging with kids, right? Like ruffling their feathers. Like I'll walk in, like the first thing I've been doing is because I've been reading to like first graders or something like that. And I'm like, all right, so you guys are 4 years old. Oh, they go crazy. They go, no, we're not 4 years old. And I was like, wait, you guys are 5. They're like, no, we're not 5. And then some kids are like, I'm 6. Some kids are like, I'm 7. And then they go crazy. They're like, 6, 7. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, when you know how to poke the right buttons, it's just absolutely... It's so much fun. So we got 2 more schools. Shout out to the schools that have had me out there. I'm sorry, Josh King. Is it Patriot or Independence Elementary? It's one of those two. I get them confused. They're patriotic things. And then I was out at Nueva Vista Language Academy in Delano. First school to ever ask me to come out and read. So they got a special place in my heart always. Who else? Today I was at McKinley Elementary and been going out there for a couple of years. Shout out Miss Dang and Miss Castillo. Just amazing. I'll show you guys what they put together for me on. I'll have to post it up on Instagram. I'm gonna put it up here in the studio somewhere. And who else? I did one more today. Crescent Elementary, brand new school. If you haven't heard of it in Bakersfield, this thing's like a spaceship. This thing was incredible. I loved it. It was a beautiful school, beautiful campus. So having a lot of fun. And you know what what else is fun is the little kids be saying the wildest shit. They're like, hey, like you ask them a question and they're just like, I have a little brother. He's 4. And then I have a big brother. And it's just like, I asked you what your favorite book was. I mean, like, what are we talking about? They're just like, hey, what's your favorite book? And they're like, my big brother's 8 years old. My little brother's he had spaghetti the other night. And I was like, there's a reason why Josh King's videos go viral. I mean, just go watch his videos. Josh King, he talks about like the carpet time with the kids. And I mean, they just go like off the wall. You got to be careful. I have a stand-up. By the way, that's another thing we're talking about. I'm hosting a stand-up comedy show at Sonder on the 27th of this month. I'm gonna tell you right now, my opening joke or one of my jokes is gonna be about kids and the wild shit. Because I'm telling you the PG stuff right now. I mean, I've been doing and going to read classes for years, and like, I mean, you really gotta like. I know at home you guys probably don't realize what your kids. Here, they take it into the classroom. They're sharing it with their friends. They're sharing it with their teachers, their yard aides, the teacher's aides, the counselors, the principal, and strangers who walk into the classroom to read on Read Across America, just like me. And it is, I'll tell you what, it's pure entertaining. So, careful what you say around your kids. Or not, because it's more entertaining for us. It gives me more content to talk about on the podcast and for my stand-up comedy. Before we get into the show, that was a whole another 5 minutes right there. Before we get into the show, I want to remind you, if you're new here, first of all, welcome. I love you. Say it back. Please subscribe on Spotify or Apple. Rate it, review it. Let me know what you think. Would love to hear just anything that you have to say. Unless it's bad, just keep it to yourself. Shut your mouth. But please rate it, review it. Give it 5 stars. Give it how many stars you ever think we deserve. Follow us on socials at ILY Say It Back Pod. I am at Vic D Radio. Follow us on YouTube at ILY Say It Back Pod. And same thing, like, review, rate, comment, do all that good stuff. Help us grow, completely free. Share it with your friends, share it with your people. If you're taking us to the gym, if you're going on a run, if you're in the car, feel free to post a picture and be like, hey, look what I'm listening to today. And hopefully we can make your day a little bit brighter. I always say this, one of my favorite things about dropping it on Thursday is the fact that, look, if nothing else, this is a little reminder that it is Thursday and we are, you just get through today. You're on a Friday, baby. And we're pretty much damn near to the weekend after that. So let's get into today's show. And boy, I'm going to have to catch my breath. Catch my breath. March has, I think we all have these months, right? Like, and I want you to think about this. And what's your month that is just insanely busy? Historically, March has been my month. When it comes to birthdays, when it comes to events, when it comes to blah, 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 blah. And this year, March is absolutely, like, it's always been by far my busy. This year, it's like you've added turbo to it. Times it by 10. It's crazy. Lot going on. Lots of exciting things that I want to tell you about March. So I'm going to actually read them kind of in the order in which they're happening. So obviously, the podcast goes without saying. We do it every week, every Thursday. Boom, boom, boom. No big deal. So that obviously, like, you know what? One thing about doing a podcast is, like, you're not allowed to complain about doing a podcast. People are not going to hear it, right? It's a lot of work, and to do it, to edit it, to produce it, to create content from it, to promote it properly, to do the videos, to do the TikToks, to do the Instagram reels, all that is just like, it's a full-time plus job in itself. Like, that already in itself. And I know you guys are like, you drop once a week. That is like, you have no idea what's going on. But so obviously the podcast going on. But then, so we're back out at Tejon. Excited to announce that. I talked about that last week when we wrapped up the Kilo of Gold insane giveaway. That was so crazy. $167,000 worth of gold, plus every other ounce that we gave away, which was over $5,000 every week. But we wrapped that up. Now in March, every Thursday, I'm going to be out at Tejon. I'm back. Excited to announce that. But this month, it's a BMW giveaway. Yes, a BMW, like a brand new matte gray. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to kick that off. We're kicking it off today if you're listening today, I guess. So that's going to be super exciting. But I'm also going to be out there March 14th. And forgive me because I haven't gone in there yet. Like, I'm at Tejon once a week. Today, I'm meeting with them, and we're going to find out what's going to be happening, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. So I'm going to be out there March 14th. I'm going to be hosting some kind of game show from 10 to 4, but I'll keep you updated with details on that. Then I'm going to be back out there for St. Patrick's Day, and they're having an artist come to the Hard Rock. Now, I haven't seen them post about it, so I will not tell you what it is or who it is, because they told me, but they're like, they didn't say, don't say anything, but I also haven't seen it on their social media or anything like that. So I don't want it to be like, hey, you shouldn't have said that. So there's going to be an exciting thing going down St. Patrick's Day. So I'll be out there, maybe even looking a little goofy. And then we're going to be back out there that Thursday. Then listen to this. So that's going to be going on all throughout the month. Then Saturdays, then March 21st, we have fight night, which is going to be, we host the big fight nights out at this time. It's going to be at the Kern County Fair. Hopefully soon it's going to be out at the Hard Rock at Tejon. They're working on making that deal happen. So March 21st, get your tickets for that. March 23rd is my mom's birthday. So this isn't just a combination of, this isn't just like work stuff. This is a combination of like work and birthdays and events and personal stuff. And baseball just got kicked off. And now we're doing, I don't want to say this, softball. It's softball on Tuesday. So it's like, just got a little bit of everything going on. Then March 27th, we're doing the comedy show at Saunders. So get your tickets for that as well. And then on top of all that, of course, we've been reading at schools all throughout this entire week. So it's like one day after another where it's like, and with my sleep schedule, let me tell you, I told this to the kids earlier today. I was like, hey, I took a shot of B12. I told the kids, I was like, hey, I got to match your energy because you guys are wide awake and used to this schedule. I am, very little sleep. I'm on very little sleep. And you know what frustrates me so much is when people tell like, well, just go to sleep earlier. I don't think y'all understand. I go to sleep earlier than most everybody. I go to sleep earlier than you, and you're a mom or you're a dad and your kids, and you're like, I promise you, I go to bed so early. My problem is my stupid body clock. I don't know what happens. I'm up by 1, 2, and I need to go for a run in order to fall back asleep. In fact, I'll tell you this story real quick that I didn't even have in my notes here. The strangest thing happened the other night. Never happened to me before. So I've been running 100 miles every month ever since like last year, since like last January. Been hitting it, still hate running. That's besides the point. But February, I'm always proud of because it's the shortest month. There's 28 days, where normally you get like 30, sometimes 31. I think this month I get 31, so it's going to feel like easy peasy. But so listen to this. So I forgot what day it was, but I woke up just like normal and I was like, I'm so sleepy. Like I want to go right back to sleep. But because it was a short month, I had to get something in. So what I did is normally I take a little bit of pre-workout at night to get me up wired, to get me enough to get me through the run. But I could still fall asleep after. Because if I just wake up and it's just like I'm going to be doing like 15 minutes, I might as well go walk. And the point is to get it done quicker so I can get back to sleep. So the other night I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to put my shoes on, put my shorts on, put a hoodie on, go for a run. Folks, when I tell you that that's exactly what I did, I did it just like that. No pre-workout, no nothing, no waking up, no going to the bathroom. No, just went, did it. Before I knew it, it was over. It was almost like, when people like sleepwalk, I kid you not, in the morning, I was like, holy shit, I ran, and it was 2.5 miles. I was like, it's not like a long run, but it was like because I needed 5 miles to finish getting to 100 by the end of February. And I told myself, I was like, 5 miles is just kind of daunting, but if I can break that into 2, I was like, that's pretty sweet. 2.5 miles, super easy. And I did 2.5 miles asleep. And I know it sounds crazy. I know you guys are going to be like, I think you're full of shit. But I promise you, that had never happened before. I did it. I remember doing it. But I remember in the morning, I was like, wow, man, like I totally forgot that I had done it, Just one of those weird things. And I'm not going to lie, it was kind of awesome. Because it's almost like you got it done without even really feeling it. And that part of it is kind of sweet. Folks, I have a big announcement to make. This has been something that I've been working on for a few weeks, possibly, kind of been in the conversation or the back of my head for a few months. This is something we did last year, and it was one of the biggest things that we did last year, and I'm excited to announce that we're going to be doing it again. I Love You Say It Back, the podcast, is going back on tour. We're going back on tour, baby. Last year, you may remember, we went to Happy Hole U. We went to Rooster's Honky Tonk. We went to Local Farm to Table. We went to Salt 7, the Salt Baths. We went to businesses, and we went and talked to amazing people in the community and just talked to them. I talked to them about their businesses, made connections. We went to do the Lions Den, Pole Den. We did all kinds of stuff, all kinds of businesses, all kinds of hits. And I'm excited to announce that we're going back on tour. This time it's going to be a little bit different, kind of, I think, maybe. So we're going to have people in studio, but we're also going to be going out and hitting the streets. So I'm going to tell you right now, we do not have everything booked. We have the idea, like we're making it official that we're going on tour. So what I need you to do is we're going to make an Instagram post here in the next couple of days, and we're going to announce that we're going back on tour. And I want you to tag your favorite business, your favorite person, anybody who you would want to hear from on this podcast. Let me know. We will go to their business. I will take this equipment and I will go set it up just like we did last year. It doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter who, or if it's a person who's just like, maybe it's a local influencer, maybe it's a local content creator. We could have them right here on the couch. We got room for 2, maybe even 3, sweetheart. So excited to announce that. It was one of the biggest things that we did last year. And I've been looking forward to doing it again. So yeah, let me know what businesses or what people you guys would want to hear from on the podcast. And we're going to make it happen. So I'm excited to be going back on tour. I love shaking things up. Doing a podcast is amazing. And I think there always needs to be, you always got to be thinking and evolving and growing. And that's what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks once we get a little bit of a lineup built. So excited to announce that. I love you, say it back. The podcast is going back on tour just to add a little bit more to March. Just, and on top of all that, we're trying to raise money for Blood Cancer United. So, I mean, it's just, it's sickening. It's just a lot, but really helpful, really thankful for all of your love, all your support, all your donations. And we're going to kick ass, we're going to make things happen. So we got through the big announcement. I like checking things off my my notes as we go through them, because then boop, done. I'm so excited to be talking about this next topic because some of you may have seen it. Actually, I would say a large part of you or a portion of my audience did not. We're talking about how you guys go to bed early. Nerds, we got things to do. And I was thinking about how the other night, you guys may have seen it, we experienced what they called like the blood moon, and it was a total, complete lunar eclipse. And listen, if you know me or if you followed along in this journey or whatever, one thing I'm obsessed with the sky, whether it's a beautiful sunset, a beautiful sunrise, or a beautiful moon, or an eclipse, a solar, lunar, it doesn't matter. I'm obsessed with the sky. And the other night we had a lunar eclipse, something that we're never going to see for the next at least 3 years. We won't see the next one like this until 2029. And by that time, I'll be 53 years old. So, I had to really enjoy this one. So I pulled out the telescope. I was out there, and it's funny because I was going to go for a run, and I was like, I'll just set this up. I'll find it. I'll enjoy it for a little bit, go for a run, come back, and it'll be like half moon. And I set it up. And before I knew it, folks, it was like 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m., next thing I knew, it was like 5 a.m. and I'm still out there messing with the telescope, I'm trying to do stupid, funny videos on Instagram, like a news reporter. And it was just an incredible, the whole thing, I was in awe because one, it took me a while to find it on the telescope. But once I did, I just couldn't wait to share every instant, every moment with you, with the people who follow along on Instagram. And I will say this. Clearly, I'm not the only person who's obsessed with the moon. And it makes my heart happy when, anybody who creates content or does this stuff, you want things to hit. And some things that always do so well, it gets lots of likes, gets lots of reactions, gets lots of comments or messages that the sky does. A beautiful sunset, or things that happen like last night. Or the other night, absolutely stunning. And I'm so glad that we share in that love for the night sky. So that was an experience. I was really, really, really happy about that. And it's one of those things that it turns completely red. Then you're watching it, kind of go halfway. And then by the time that it's done, it's a beautiful moon. It's inexplicable. And I knew that a lot of you guys would be asleep during that time. So I took it upon myself to listen, KGET, 23 ABC, CBS News, or wherever these nerds are sleeping. I'm on the call, baby. I'm 24 hours a day. You want some of this action? It's all yours for $12. So, just make me a deal. You can have all the footage and the pictures and everything. I'm cheap. But what an absolutely spectacular night. Just one of those nights that I'm never going to forget. I had so much fun being out there, and anybody who stayed up that was super duper worth it. Let's get into your fun facts here in case you didn't know. Got a good little batch for you. So let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know, Consuming more red wine and cheese can help reduce cognitive decline. In case you didn't know. Cursing can improve your circulation and elevate endorphins that boost your mood. In case you didn't know. So let those F-bombs rip. It's like therapy. Beep, 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 beep. I'm having my therapy session, okay? Please, leave me alone. And finally tonight, in case you didn't know, here's a little fun fact about your nipples. In case you didn't know, your nipples are as unique as your fingerprints. Prove it. Show me. Oh, let's see. Hey, imagine going to like a, where is it that I don't know, where you go to like the state offices or something. They're like, please put your thumbprint. And you're like, well, I got something better. Just put my nipples. They're like, sir, get the hell out of here. But there you go. Unique. That is something I didn't know. And I don't know if I'm glad that I know that. That is interesting. But those are your fun facts here in case you didn't know. What else do we got here? A little update on Punch. He is, we don't really have much going on as far as updates. Some videos are good. Most of them are good. They have a video of him, like they're showing him like now that he knows how to wave and all that stuff. So it's just cute, just dominating the world. Let's get into our... Oh, I did want to write this. I wrote this down on my notes. I didn't write it on my notes on my phone, not on my pad. So I don't know if you guys have been getting this, but I've been getting the worst scam calls. It's kind of embarrassing, not for me, but like on their end. Because normally you get some kind of professional sounding where they're like, hey, like they know what they're doing kind of scammers, like pieces of shit kind of thing. I've been getting some like rookie test run scammers. Like they're like, hi, they sound more nervous than I am. And I'm like, hello. And then it's like, hi, is this, and then they'll call you the wrong name, and then you're like, oh, no, you have the wrong number. Oh, hey, well while I have you here, do you mind sharing your PG? It's like, what the hell? And some other ones will get your name right, but then they're like, they have the worst strategy to go about it. And I'm just like, this is embarrassing. Like, I want to help you out. I want to help you scam me because this is embarrassing. You were terrible at your job. How could I help you? Because clearly whoever's in charge of this whole thing is not helping you. It's just bad. You're going to get fired soon. Help me help you. Last episode too, I talked about how nothing united the world the way Punch, the U.S. men and women's hockey team winning gold, and Ella Langley has united the United States. That was fun. That lasted about 10 minutes. Now we're at war. Now everyone's divided. Now everyone's like, oh, we're back. But I will say, for those 12 minutes and 17 seconds, it was beautiful. That is what our country should feel like. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're ever going to go back to that because everybody's fucking stupid. I wish you guys knew how fucking stupid you sound on Facebook. Your meme, your people, like, I wish you guys knew how, yeah. I will say, it was nice to be united for a little bit, but it was funny, we had a joke, we were like, yeah, the United States was united, and I'm like, where? Bitch, where? Like, oh, yeah, we're united for once. But yeah, those kind of things brought us together, and then we went right back to business. I actually have a lot that I want to get into with that, but we can't. This is not the type of podcast. You guys have your news sources that you go to. And they all go, and you go and get your lies there, and then you come here, and hopefully we get a laugh about it. Let's get into Wednesday Wisdom. I have a great question tonight, and one of these questions that I feel like a lot of people can relate to when it comes to dating in Bakersfield and really in general in dating apps. So let's get to it. Hey, Vic D, I'm a fresh 41 and no idea where to go for serious dating. I got married at 29, divorced at 38, feels like forever, and I've been single since. I've actually been really comfortable in being single, but as time goes on, I wonder if the person, quote unquote, is out there for me. I'm considering dating apps. I've downloaded them all, but it kind of feels pathetic at my age. Going out to bars just isn't me, much less clubs. Every person I've been set up with, I have zero interest. Just because I'm 41 and single doesn't mean I still don't have my standards. Help, thank you. Help, thank you. 41 years old, not new to the dating scene. It sounds like she was already super okay with like, you know what, I'm going to be single. I'm enjoyed it. And you know what? Like, to me, that's already like and talking about red flag, that's a green flag. Understanding and being okay with being single, like out of a divorce, I think is the right move. Now it's been, she said 38, 3 years minimum. And so people talk about how to get back into the dating scene after 40. And I actually was looking up some stuff. I was like, how do people do it? How would you do it? How, what I'm saying? Like, dating after 40, let's not pretend like it's your pool shrinks. Maybe you're around Bakersfield, maybe it's a little bit different, actually opens up, because I feel like her situation is actually a little bit more common, where people jump right into marriage super early, then quickly realize like, hey, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this wasn't the best option. But then, you kind of, you get out of that relationship. So the pool kind of opens up again. And you're okay with being single, but you're like, all right, well, maybe we should try this again. You're 40. It's not like you're 75, 80 years old. You still got a hell of a whole lot of life to live. And I've got the perfect advice for you. You came to the right place, sweetheart. Boy, do I have something for you. And I want you to listen, and I want you to listen closely. And this is something that I DM'd her back. I wrote her back, and I was like, hey, thanks for the question. This is fantastic. And we had a little back and forth, a little bit of an exchange. But I wanted to read or tell you what I wrote to her. I said, hey, what kind of hobbies do you have? And how active are you on social media? Clearly, you have an Instagram because you wrote in. But I don't know. It was a private account, but I was like, I don't know how active you actually are. She said, I'm not very active. I'm just kind of like, I follow the people that I like, and, just kind of keep up with things, a little bit here and there. And I said, that's fascinating. And I think dating apps are tough, right? Dating apps are tough dating apps, I think, depending on who you are, they can be tough. They can be really good, but they can be tough. But now I'm talking about after 40. Here's what I think you should do. I think you have to find the things that you enjoy. Let's just throw this out there. Let's say you enjoy hiking, soccer, paint, and I don't know, cars, right? I think you have to find all the things that you find that you enjoy, all the things that you like watching, all the things that you like doing, all the things, and just start posting about it. I'm not saying create your whole personality and be around stuff, but I want you to show who you are and be expressive about it. Because yes, dating apps are a little bit tough. Pathetic, I don't know. I would suggest it if I've never done the dating app thing. I can't, like, I can't. I did it once as like a radio bit when I was at the radio station, which that was a crazy experience. But it was a crazy experience because it was for a bit, not because it was like, oh my gosh, it's just crazy out here. No. It was because it was for a bit. But my point is, I think people now are attracted to who we are on social media. And I know you think of it as a joke, and maybe you're in your 40s, so maybe this is a little bit foreign to you, where you're not active on social media. You're not old, but you definitely are not in your 20s in the young generation that grew up with their phones in their hand all the time. So you have to get comfortable with kind of stepping outside and creating, even if it's just stories or just simple pictures. I think you're going to attract the people who need to be in your life, and maybe even a potential date or person that can be attracted. Man, like, I'll tell you this much. I like hiking. You know what I see? A bunch of hiking posts. I like golf. I see a bunch of golfers. I see a bunch. So I see people are attracted to what they follow or what they're interested in, and that is what the feed shows them. So let's say there's a girl that I know on Instagram or something, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I think what she does is cool. And you're okay, you're already following him. Maybe this is where people think, like, remember the jokes that were made about, like, yeah, it started with my mom met my dad on the DMs. He slid in her DMs. It's like that is literally dating in 2026. And it is not even like a funny thing anymore. That's just, it was funny. And the memes were funny back then because it was such a foreign thing. It was a new thing. It's like, wait, what do you mean people are meeting on this app? Yes, because you know why? I'm responding to something that you did that I'm already interested in. So don't be afraid to show your personality. Don't be afraid to post the things that you're into or interested in. If you like to travel, if you like to go to museums, if you like, I mean, like this is going to be silly, but if you're into drinking hard, if you're into the party scene, if you're like whatever it is that you are into, you're going to want someone who has similar interests. I'm not saying those drinking and all that stuff is good, but if you're into drinking, you're not going to attract someone who's into hiking, or you're not going to be into someone who's into hiking or camping or all these things. So whatever it is that you're attracted to or into, post about it. Don't be afraid to share it. Don't be afraid to create content. Don't be afraid to follow or slide in DMs or reactions or things like that, because you never know those sparks. Maybe someone's sitting in the same situation. Maybe they're a little bit nervous to step out in the scene after being single for blank and blank time. If you're not into the dating, if you're not into the bars, the nightclub, I get it. You know, not necessarily my cup of tea either. I'll go out. I have no problem going out, but I'm not going out to date. I'm not going out to find love. I'm not, you know, like that's just, I mean, once you've seen enough things, you've seen enough things. I like going out because I like being with my friends, and maybe that's something that you could pick up too. You just like, I guess the big thing is being open to new experiences. And even if it is a night out with your girlfriends, even if it's a night out, it's like, hey, I like spending time doing blank and blank with blank and blank. You could meet someone you don't expect there. But I think for someone who's not into that stuff, I think for someone who's generally okay with you're not desperate, you're not looking, you're not like anything like that, I think that's a fantastic way to go about it. Because I do notice people who have similar interests in me. And I think we used to joke about it and laugh about it, but I think nowadays in 2026, I think that's a great way to kind of approach this new age of dating thing. That is your Wednesday wisdom. Victi is spoken. And by the way, when you do find your person, I want to be invited to the wedding. And if you think about it, you're really kind of knocking out two birds with one stone. You're doing the things that you are liking and enjoying already, while simultaneously potentially attracting someone with similar interest. So there you go. I actually really like that one because I find it fascinating how people 40 plus who have already been married, you know, did that whole thing, kind of navigate those waters. Interesting. Let's go ahead and wrap up our show tonight with a little late night trivia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about things that you're afraid to ride. Oh, thank you. I almost want to say in case you didn't know. All right, here we go. Late night trivia. 8% of Americans say they're afraid to ride in this. Nearly, or just about 8% of Americans say they're afraid to ride in this. What is it? Think about it. Answer coming. No, just about 8% of Americans say they're afraid to ride in this. Elevators. Elevators are freaky. You know, a couple weekends ago, I was in Vegas and we got into this elevator and it wasn't sketchy. It was a nice elevator. It wasn't, you know, but I didn't know, you know, it's one of those where you step in and then it kind of shakes a little bit. And I mean, the way that things cross your mind. I mean, the way that you're just like, you're thinking a worst case scenario for every situation. You're like, well, this could all fall and I'm going to have to spread out and sprawl out like a starfish in order to try to survive this thing. Or you're thinking like, what if the doors never open? A little claustrophobia action, throw that in the mix. You see this thing shaking. I mean, I'm looking at the date on this thing. It had a little LED screen in there, and the time said like 6:51, and it was like April 3rd, 2024. I said, shit, nobody's looked at this since 2024. I said, we could be in some trouble. Hang on tight, but no problems. But yeah, I get it. Elevators are kind of freaky. My initial guess was roller coasters, but elevators. There you go, folks. That's gonna wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, all the new folks that we've met out reading at the schools. I'll see you out at, I believe it's Owens Elementary tomorrow, and San Loren. I don't know how to pronounce it. These new schools, these new kids, I don't know. I can't figure it out, but I'll see you guys out there on Friday. Wrap up Read Across America. Make sure you follow us on Spotify or wherever you're listening right now. Hit that follow, hit that subscribe button, rate it, review it. Let us know if you love it. Same thing on YouTube. Do all that good stuff. Follow us on our socials at ILY Say It Back Pod. I am at Vic D Radio. What a blast of a show. I will see you out at the Hard Rock Casino tomorrow, kicking off the BMW giveaway and a crazy, crazy, crazy month of March. As we kick off, we announce we're going back on tour, baby. I love you. Say it back. Have a great night. Sleep good. Que sueñen con los angelitos. Peace. Yeah, baby. Yeah.